Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're really digging into a book that, well, it really challenges how we think about work and life. We're unpacking the 4-Hour Workweek, Escape 9 to 5, Live Anywhere, and Join the New Rich by Timothy Ferriss.
Yeah, quite the title.
It is. And this isn't just, a book. It feels more like a blueprint for designing your lifestyle. It directly confronts that idea that success means endless hours, traditional careers.
That's right. And our mission, really, for this deep dive is to pull out the most powerful, the most actionable insights from what Ferriss wrote.
What?
We want to explore his philosophy and the actual strategies he offers to, maximize freedom, income, and, well, fulfillment. It's all about rethinking time, income, and what being rich truly means today.
Okay, let's get into it, because this isn't just about working fewer hours, right? It's a whole mental shift.
Totally.
But before we dive into the how, maybe just briefly on Timothy Ferriss himself. He's not just an author. He's kind of the poster child for lifestyle design.
He really is.
Built his brand by experimenting, meticulously, with efficiency and outsourcing in his own life, and then sharing these often quite counterintuitive findings.
Exactly. And his own life experiments, his business ventures, they really inform everything in the book. It makes it feel less like theory and more like a proven approach. A bit extreme sometimes, maybe, but proven.
Right. And he structures it around this framework, DEAL, D-E-A-L. Let's start with D, definition. When Ferriss talks about redefining, what's he actually challenging?
Well, this is where it gets really transformative, I think. He redefines rich.
Okay.
It's not just about having loads of money. For him, real wealth is having the time and the freedom to do exactly what you want.
Right.
When you want, where you want, with who you want. He introduces this idea of the new rich, the NR. These are people who prioritize experiences, flexibility, mobility, much more than just traditional financial accumulation.
That's a huge shift.
It is. It's a profound shift from that conventional path, work for decades, save up, then retire.
And he's got that line, it really captures it. Money is multiplied in practical value depending on the number of W's you control in your life. What you do, when you do it, where you do it, and with whom you do it.
Exactly. Control.
So it's all about control, which I guess leads perfectly into the next step.
It really does, because once you've redefined what success looks like for you, the next big hurdle is often clearing out all the stuff, the clutter that holds us back.
Okay.
And that brings us to E, elimination.
Okay, elimination.
Yeah.
This is where Ferriss gets, well, pretty ruthless. For someone trying this, how does he suggest we even start figuring out what's really unnecessary versus what just feels overwhelming?
Well, he leans heavily on things like the 80-20 principle, Pareto's law, you know, and Parkinson's law work expands to fill the time.
Right, heard of those.
But Ferriss pushes them much further. He argues it's not just about being efficient, it's about ruthlessly finding and just eliminating the vast majority of tasks that give you minimal results.
Wow.
It's questioning if you even need to do certain work, not just how fast you can do it, which raises that big question. How much of what we do every day is actually impactful? And how much is just busy work?
That is a profound question. So he's not just saying work smarter, he's saying reevaluate what work even is.
Pretty much, yeah.
It sounds liberating, honestly.
It does. And once you've, brutally cut down the non-essential stuff, the next step, and this is the exciting one for a lot of people, is how to get the rest of it, the important stuff, to basically run itself. Which is where A for automation kicks in.
Automation, yeah, that's almost like magic sometimes. What's the biggest misunderstanding people have about automating income? And how does Ferriss make it seem, well, achievable for someone who isn't maybe super techie?
Well, he introduces methods for passive or near passive income. But the real insight, I think, isn't just about making money while you sleep. It's about reclaiming your mental energy for what really matters to you. So, yeah, it involves outsourcing tasks, often using virtual assistants, maybe in lower-cost countries, setting up online businesses, things that run with minimal oversight.
Right.
It's about building systems, using tools that replace you doing it manually, turning income from constant effort into something sustainable, mostly automated.
Systems, not just tasks. Okay.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the last letter, L, liberation. What does this final step in DEAL actually look like for someone living these principles?
Liberation is really about achieving that freedom, geographic freedom, and time freedom.
Okay.
So working remotely, designing businesses that don't need you physically present.
Wow.
And this concept he really champions, mini retirements.
Mini retirements. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, the idea is really profound. instead of putting off enjoying life until you hit 65 or whatever.
Right, the standard model.
You take these extended breaks throughout your life. You experience the world, pursue passions now, not just, way off in the future.
And he says it so well. The goal is not to simply eliminate the bad, but to pursue and experience the best in the world. That really sums up that whole spirit of intentional lifestyle design.
Absolutely. And beyond just the deal framework, there are these key themes running through the whole book. One is obviously that central idea of lifestyle design,
Right.
which isn't just work-life balance. It's like proactively, intentionally shaping your entire life, aligning it with your values, your dreams, the experiences you want, instead of just accepting the default path.
So actively building the life you want, not just letting it happen to you. What's the biggest thing stopping people from doing that, do you think, that kind of radical intention?
Often it's this ingrained belief system, like the idea that time is the true currency. Ferriss argues this isn't just a nice phrase. It's a fundamental shift. Viewing your time as more valuable than money and then actively finding ways to buy back your time through outsourcing, automation, elimination.
Buying back time.
Yeah. We're so conditioned to think about earning more money, not necessarily how to optimize our time itself.
And tied into that, the book absolutely challenges societal norms. Ferriss really critiques that traditional career ladder, working till 65, equating being busy with being productive.
Right.
What's the biggest hurdle people face when trying to break free from those really deep-seated norms?
I think the biggest hurdle is often psychological. It's the fear of not conforming, maybe, or just that deep belief that productivity has to mean long hours.
Yeah, that's ingrained.
Totally.
Yeah.
Ferriss argues that efficiency and, more importantly, results are way more important than just the sheer number of hours you put in. He pushes us to ask if our hard work is actually effective work. It means dismantling decades of beliefs about what success even looks like.
Definitely. Now, one of the most unique concepts, and honestly one that really hit home for me, is fear setting.
Ah, yes.
That resonated. I remember agonizing over a decision once, and if I'd done a proper fear-setting exercise back then, I probably would have seen the absolute worst case was actually, pretty manageable, and I would just move forward faster. How does that practice actually help people act?
Well, fear setting is basically visualizing the worst-case scenarios, right?
Yeah.
But then, crucially, methodically figuring out how to mitigate those risks, planning contingencies.
Yeah.
And the really profound part is, when you systematically dissect your worst fears, you often realize they're either not as catastrophic as you imagined,
Right.
or they're entirely preventable with a bit of planning. It's like this exercise in logical deconstruction. It often frees you up to take bolder but still calculated risks because you've already faced the monster, so to speak, and found out it's maybe just a manageable house cat.
Right. Facing the monster.
Yeah. And it really makes you question how often fear, often vague, undefined fear, holds us back from making changes that actually aren't nearly as risky as they feel at first glance.
That's powerful. So thinking about you, our listener, why might this deep dive, why might this book be so valuable? What are its real strengths? And let's be real, what are its limitations too?
Okay, strengths first. It's packed with practical strategies like tangible tools, templates you could potentially use right away.
Right, actionable stuff.
Very actionable. The deal framework itself provides a clear step-by-step method. That makes it super inspirational for anyone looking to rethink their work-life balance. And it's incredibly resource-rich, loads of specific recommendations, further reading tools.
Okay. But the limitations.
Yeah, we have to be realistic. It's crucial to acknowledge them. Not every method, especially things like heavy outsourcing or taking long mini retirements, is universally applicable.
Sure.
People have different personal situations, financial constraints. Also, it was first published back in 2007. So some of the specific resources and examples might feel a bit dated. You might need to find modern equivalents.
Good point.
And there's definitely an overemphasis on entrepreneurship. If you're in a more traditional, stable career, some parts might feel less directly applicable. Plus, let's be honest, the level of freedom he describes can feel pretty idealistic, especially for people with significant family commitments or working in really structured jobs.
Okay, so given those nuances, who really gets the most out of this? Who should pick up this book or really lean into these ideas?
I'd say it's really great for entrepreneurs, obviously, looking to optimize their balance. Freelancers, remote workers who want more control, aspiring digital nomads, for sure, or really Anyone feeling kind of stuck in that 9 to 5 grind, seeking alternatives, and just generally interested in personal productivity and, designing their own life. If you're looking for permission, almost, to redefine success on your own terms, this book is definitely for you.
Yeah, that permission aspect feels key. So the ultimate takeaway from the 4-Hour Workweek, it seems pretty powerful. You don't have to wait until retirement to live your dream life. It's about intentionally designing your life now, prioritizing those high-impact things, and using automation systems to reclaim your most valuable asset, which is your time.
Right. The book is both motivational and practical, particularly if you're interested in breaking away from those conventional work structures. It really urges you to design your life deliberately. Don't just let life happen to you.
Design it deliberately. That leads to a good question for you listening right now. How might even one small principle we've talked about, maybe just focusing on your 20% most impactful tasks, or maybe just asking yourself that question, what would you do if time and money weren't an issue? How might that start to reshape your own approach to work and life, maybe even starting today?
It's a great question to ponder.
We really appreciate you joining us on this exploration today.
Yeah. And if you enjoyed this, please do like, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in.
And we look forward to having you join us for our next deep dive.